Welcome to episode 155 of Timelines. It's December 23rd, 2015. On this episode of Timelines, we have Jonathan Denwood from Carson City, Nevada. Jonathan is well known from WP-Tonic, which is one of the top-rated WordPress shows in the world. And today, we're having Jonathan back on. He's been on Timelines. Of course, he does the show WP-Tonic, and he's one of the famous guys on Meet the Voter, meetthevoter.com Sunday mornings. So, Jonathan, welcome to the year-end shows.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to go over 3 success principles in the first part that you used this year that you think actually helped. Maybe a book or two you listened to. And then after the break, we're going to come back and 3 things you want to work on for next year.
Right.
So what are those 3 things? What's 3 things do you think you did this year that you did well?
I think I built some good quality, strong relationships online.
Okay, so one is building relationships. We'll just say that, building relationships. Online, though, but not here in Reno, right?
No, it's been mostly, I've been concentrating on, more podcasting, more blabs, more, trying to get people. Well, you understand, Bill, but most people don't. Actually, I'm the producer role on WP-Tonic and also the Mail-Right real estate show.
Hey, Mr. Producer, speak up a little bit more. You're a little light today. It's unusual. You're so loud last night.
Okay.
You did real well. Last night they had 600 people come through. Another competing talk political show.
Bit more sound there.
That sounds good.
Yep. So I'm the producer of 2. One's a podcast, and other one's a YouTube and Blab. And I'm the producer. So it does take a bit of time getting guests, thinking of ideas, working with you to increase the standards of the shows, keep them moving forward. So that takes a little bit of time, plus building Mail-Right out, improving WP-Tonic's offering. I'm really excited. I think I'm getting both products really ready for the new year. But that all so I've been concentrating building my relationships online, Bill. But also we combined it by going to a couple word camps, didn't we, Bill?
Right. We did. We physically went out too, and I didn't start the timer. Hey, I want to go back on that production. You talked about something that we did this year. We've been podcasting for 2 years, really, going on 2 years or something like that. Almost 2 years.
A year and a half, actually. Bill.
With WP-Tonic, and it's by far the most successful podcast show of the 3 that I actually do. But what we did this year, we sort of formalized what you need to do in this whole world of new media, and Blab started. So you've got the producer, you've got the host, co-host, you've got the engineer, and you need a marketer too, somewhere out there. But that doesn't mean that one person can't do all the roles. You just have to know what those roles are, and it really helps. So WP-Tonic is the first show that I did with different jobs. Jonathan came to me. We started creating this WP-Tonic, which is all about WordPress, and it has evolved, and it's really getting good. We're looking at different broader topics into WordPress and themes. But Jonathan does what we call the production, means he lines up the guests, the people, and we talk about topics together. I do, on the other side, I call the engineering. That's bringing into WordPress, not WordPress, but bringing into the different platforms. The other thing, Jonathan creates more of the blog. I might put a little bit into it. So the production is the creative side, and the engineering is the mechanical side. So you've got those two. Then you've got host and co-host. So Jonathan's the host there. I'm the co-host. That means I take second position. Now this show, I'm definitely the host, the moderator. And this is Timelines. This is really my first show I ever started, and I do it all right now. Eventually, I'd like to break that up so I don't do it all. Yeah. But I do it all. But that's what I've done. For me, I've created a faster way to do stuff so we can go live. I don't know if anybody doing a blab, hitting YouTube, blogging, and then going live all within a couple hours on iTunes. So that's kind of a fun thing. That's what we started the last 60 days.
So building relationships face to face, which I've cut down, which I need to do better on.
So
And
one was building relationships. What would number 2 be?
just keep on going.
2 is keep on going. That's a good theme for this year. It was a slugfest year. I mean, a lot of hard stuff. We're both going through that slugfest of the systems and processes. So, what was your biggest challenge with this is the first year you really came out with a SaaS, software as a service.
Yeah, it's been brutal, really. As I told you, if I'd known how much money and time, I might have not done it, which is a good thing that I didn't know, because I think I have ended up, the toughest bit is to come actually marketing it, finding ways to market that actually work is always really brutal. But at least I've got a product now that I believe in, and I think the majority of there's going to be some minor improvements, but the core product isn't going to change for the next year, I would say. And I'm really developing out my other company, WP-Tonic, and I think I've got a good niche now, WP-Tonic, and a really strong marketing message for 2016. But to get back to it, it's just getting up every morning, and you've got to have the result. I've been lucky that I've had the resources to allow me to do this. But even if you've got a side job or you've got a spouse that's supporting you or whatever, it's still going to be a slog. Most people. But it's really difficult, isn't it, Bill? Because you got to make a balance. Are you continuing down a path that's leading nowhere, or are you thinking of stopping too early? So there's always those. They're the kind of two sides of the same thing, really. So you're always oscillating.
So building relationships. Your second one is keep on going, and that's like never quit. I never give up or never quit attitude, but keep on going is good. So you kept on going this year. Hey, one thing I'm going to say that I noticed between building relationships and keeping on going is that time balance management. I think both of us have really pulled back from the Reno, Carson City area. We still have relationships, but I think we pulled back from the locals here. I know I run a 500 plus entrepreneur group and 120 person WordPress meetup. And I'm going now to another WordPress meetup and getting out of that business of running the local organizations because it doesn't scale. It doesn't scale locally.
No, it's nothing. Northern Nevada, folks, is a beautiful place. It really is a beautiful area, and Reno's got a bad reputation, and it's not deserved. There are parts of Reno that I would prefer to be knocked down and redeveloped. But you can say that about any small city, can't you? But generally, its reputation is very unfounded. It's got some beautiful, but it's only a really small city, and the whole population of this area is probably no more than 500,000.
The county, which goes all the way up to the border in Oregon.
I would say the whole of the Washoe Valley, including Sparks, Reno, Washoe Valley, and if you add Carson City, you might be looking at 550,000. That's not a very large population, is it, Bill?
Reno is 220 about. Sparks is 70 or 80. Carson's, I think, 50,000. No, it's very small. Yeah, very small. We have a lot of tourists, and we really grow, though. We get big on the weekends, and then when we get small.
But if you're not established or you're not in a niche that you're supplying a service to all those people that come in, you're gonna have to look outside the area to build your business, really, aren't you? So
yeah, building relationships, keeping on going, and that's modifying your time. So what would your third thing be this year that you really worked on? From the outside, I can see from the outside. Let's see. What would I say? I'd say focus, more focus.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bill. One of the problems of because obviously we're in the entertainment business, but I'm with the two shows that I produce. They're there to promote and publicize the two products and services that I'm selling. Bill, it's about selling his courses. So there's an underlying reason why we're doing this, but we are in the entertainment. And one of the problems of new media is there's so much to do and so many areas to cover. It's really very, very easy to become totally defocused and just run around like a headless chicken and get totally swamped and really do nothing effectively. Would you agree with that, Bill?
Oh, I agree. And with that, we're going to go to a break. Everyone knows that the jet means it's commercial time for those hosts. Now, one of the things we talk about this year is you actually have to make money unless you're independently wealthy and just love getting online and blabbing. So our sponsors are Share the Oil in Northern Nevada. If you want to know more information, go to Netcasting 101. You can find a little bit about Share the Oil. Also, we've got my product, netcasting101.com, which hasn't launched yet, but it's getting closer. Every night we're working on it, and we'll have a list out. What I've asked, people have asked for a checklist of how I do this show, how I get this daily show out all the way into iTunes every day. So we're going to give a free checklist out and continue to work on the show and the products and the pieces. And then finally, we've got WP-Tonic. That's Jonathan's product. He actually has two. We could say Mail-Right and WP-Tonic, but WP-Tonic is far more applicable. And there we've got DigitalOcean.
So what does Mail-Right, what does WP-Tonic do?
DigitalOcean, I just talking about it. DigitalOcean host service.
No, folks, WP-Tonic is a maintenance service company. We look after your website so you can look after your business. But we do it with a twist, folks. We also offer fantastic hosting at fantastic value with DigitalOcean, which has become one of the biggest hosting companies in the world. And Bill will testify, and I also run WP-Tonic on it. It's super fast, folks, at amazing prices.
Yeah. And now let's talk a couple seconds. We're going to go a little off this. Now, DigitalOcean doesn't have a cPanel. I didn't realize it was considered one of the bigger organizations out of San Francisco. But basically, it's a platform that's solid state. That's
solid state servers. It's a VPS, so it's a virtual private. So you have your own area. You're not sharing your room with a load of strangers. Yep. You've got your own room with your own door. You can lock your own stuff in it. Super fast with solid state drives, the latest software, and we do all the management for you. So all you've got to do, which is the important stuff, folks. If you've got online business, getting clients, that's what you're there for, not mucking around with WordPress. And
I have three host providers: Bluehost, which is the solid state, the old one when you're starting, and that's not a bad place to start cost-wise. I also have a couple others, but DigitalOcean is something that we have Netcasting 101 on, and that is the solid state. That's the platform that has the potential to grow and get huge. Now, that said, it's not, when you're starting, it's not too expensive because they charge you by usage.
Well, yeah, but most have limits on bandwidth. Bill.
Oh, right.
Actually, DigitalOcean is more. Rob's joined us. Thanks, Rob. Nice joining us. No, it's bandwidths that are more generous than average. But they always will be there. But it's just the speed when you've gone on to DigitalOcean. When you compare their VPS solution, it's about a third less than most other hosting companies would charge you for a VPS.
It's a scalability too. It's scalability,
and it's just value for money. Is just fantastic, Bill.
In Bluehost or some of the others that I have, which is working fine. I've got the cloud version. It's very fast. But as you evolve, let's say you're getting a lot of traffic, you're going to have to move that to...
It's not as fast as DigitalOcean, Bill.
No, it's not. But they're still, I time them. The way I've got them, I've got my sites pretty fast. But I'm just saying, it's that scalability. At some point, if your shows take off on some of these other providers, you're going to have to move them to different platforms.
It's his show, so I can't stop him from saying good things about Bluehost. But
no, it's not a bad place to start.
But I would have it on my shows, folks. DigitalOcean.
No, DigitalOcean's good. But again, it's that scalability. It's not a bad place to start, DigitalOcean on one site. No, not at all. And I have it. I have netcasting.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Bill. I totally agree with you. You know, if it's just not a site that you're not that, or you're just starting, shared hosting with somebody like Bluehost or SiteGround isn't a bad idea. But if you're really serious about your business and you're making money from your business, you need a VPS, and the best VPS value is DigitalOcean.
You know, WP-Tonic, WP-Tonic, we're really going to that WP-Tonic world, but folks, go ahead and listen to WP-Tonic. We're doing tomorrow is going to be live at 4:30, but next month, we're going to do power users, which will be fun, the big guys, and see what they do. Maybe we can get Pat Flynn on. I'll work on that so I don't have to pay for the steak. We got power users. Well, I've got one power user next week.
You owe me 2 coffees already. It's building up the stuff that you owe me. You owe me a couple of coffees. For my predictions.
Anyway, let's finish this up. So we're, instead of your success and life principles, we're going to go into priorities for 2016. Right. You named off 3, and marketing is the first priority within your business. Yeah,
consistent social media. I'm probably going to hire somebody to help me on the social media if I can afford it. Social media, consistent newsletter. Got a newsletter that's going out first in January. That's all been done for WP-Tonic, and we've already got a nice list, but I've been a bit of a laggard, but that's all ready to rock and roll. Getting Bill to consistently Twitter, Facebook, use Escape.
I tweet a lot. I do tweet a lot. I just don't do it with the system.
I'm going to have to train him more, folks, about how to use a scheduler. More social media, more newsletters, more guest appearances on podcasts, like what Bill recommends. He's totally spot on. More guest articles on, just increasing the exposure, but you've got to do it systematically. You've got to have a marketing. I've just drawn up my 2 marketing plans, both for my companies. I've been writing those up the past 2 weeks, so that they have all been done, and got everything. Got a new look for the WP-Tonic homepage. Got the new newsletter. Looking at hiring somebody to help me with the social media, and I'm working on Mail-Right as well. Improving the SEO is a continuous battle, but marketing is totally important, folks. It will make or break your, especially on any business, but online.
So, is this the new page you put up on WP-Tonic?
No, I haven't. It's not put up yet.
Oh, Jonathan, you might look at the code right now. It's okay, but it's definitely different.
I haven't set it up yet.
It's like a big commercial right now.
I haven't set it up yet, Bill.
See, I'm a big...
Bill's got absolutely freaking patience, folks.
I just put it on there, folks. I just put WP-Tonic. Go look at it. It's different.
You're always... So you got no hindsight, Bill, unless it's plonked right in front of you, done and finished.
Oh, you got to search. You got to search on there.
You got no.
I search myself.
You got no foresight, Bill, at all.
Well, I have the podcasting background, and the idea of putting the podcast front and center when you come up, which it's on the top of this platform. But the search is nice because you can put in a name, and it'll show if it's in the title, it'll come up, and that's what we do for the interviews. So if you put Jonathan Denwood on our site, Jonathan, I don't know if you looked at the WP-Tonic, you might take a look. Want to pause for a second and look at it?
No, something I was going to work on this morning, but somebody asked me that they needed some help with a podcast. So.
No, you're filling in. You're doing the first one. This is going to be the example for others to follow for this. So let's drive on here as we degraded here. And what's really nice about, folks, if you're listening on iTunes, you go over to the website, timelinesofsuccess.com, and you go down and open this, you can see the blab. You can see all the notes on the side and the links. This is an amazing, people don't realize what a great reference this is if you have it by shows to go back and pick up these notes that are on the side. That's why I love people to put in their addresses, everything. You can't spam these notes on the side.
Yeah, but what you got to remember, Bill, is the normal site's shown, but you got to put the www. I think you're putting in not the www.
I just typed it in. Let's see what it says.
Yes.
So,
because I'm seeing, I didn't think we had put up the new plate up yet, but we might.
It's up, right?
No, I think it wasn't up actually.
I dropped in WP-Tonic without the www.
You need the www.
That's old school, I think.
Oh God.
I say I don't do any of my sites with www. I just straight. We'll talk. It's funny. See, I'm the business guy without the super in-depth. I just do things that sort of work.
One tip, folks, when you're doing your Google, it's really called now, your Google console, you've got to choose a particular domain, which Google will also show up in search. And you can end up with Google looking at multiple domain addresses. And if that happens, folks, it will consider each of those sites as separate sites, and it will reduce your effectiveness of your SEO. So in Google Console, you've got to choose one address, and I chose www WP-Tonic. And if you do a search under WP-Tonic, and then you click, that's the address you'll be taken to. Bill keeps insisting on not doing that.
No, what I do is I just do the basic timeline of success, and then I point every WP-Tonic is just pointed over to one place. And I have the HTTPS on two of my sites too, the secure sockets.
Yeah, but Bill will never listen to me. He'll listen to everybody.
I don't believe in www anymore on the front of a site.
Yeah,
so we got two sites. So I just put in two. Now I have two sites up. Is that the new site and the old site?
No. Yeah.
See what you guys miss? And this, we don't get to do this on WP-Tonic. I can't act like this on WP-Tonic. I have got to be nice.
He's got to be.
Oh, did he just disappear? Come back in, Jonathan. I didn't record that. Come on, Jonathan. Come back in. What happened? That was weird. Oops, it's locked. Got to unlock it. Come back in, Jonathan. Well, I didn't record any of that, so let's go back. I was looking. Yeah. Anyway, so we different.
Yeah, I actually got to fix it. So when you put in, that's another little job. So when somebody like you puts in your non-www, it goes. That's on the list.
You got to read. All mine are redirected into the non-www.
Yeah. Mine
just go right into that. I just have one, and it goes.
I think
here we go. Let's.
I didn't bother doing that until I got the new homepage, and then I'm going to sort that out as well. It's never ending, folk. There's always something on the list.
That's true, and it always takes longer than you expect. I think you told me that early on. Except when you learn how to optimize doing this show faster.
The only thing that doesn't take a lot of time, folks, is spending money.
You know, that's a good one. Well, that's clarity. Next one is clarity. Here we go. So, Jonathan, we are back up. We're recording now. This is the fun part of Blab and getting used to this micro management, engineering, and hosting. See, I'm hosting, engineering, and doing everything. You need someone also watching the notes on the side. But anyway, we're back to where we were in priorities. Clarity. You talked about clarity. So what does clarity mean to you?
It's focus. It's having a plan. I think you can have these enormous business plans are a total waste of money, and they're just academics, MBAs and academics. They love planning about nothing, basically. But on the other hand, I've learned the hard way. I was totally against any planning. Having a monthly, quarterly, 6 month little, we need to get these things achieved. These are the things we like to get achieved, and just keeping an eye on it and not allowing yourself just to drift on a merry boat, going merrily, not knowing. It's a bit like being a sailor. You know, if you didn't have if you don't know what port you're going to, you're just going to end up anywhere. But I've noticed with the internet, it seems to accelerate the ease of just drifting, and you can end up in a scenario you're 1 month in and you seem to have done a lot of stuff, but you're not getting anywhere, and in 3 months and 6 months, and you really got to understand the medium and fight against that.
Yep. Well, for example, in clarity, clarity means getting things done. So this business plan, you finished it. You said you have 2 business plans, one for each company?
Yeah, but they're only a couple of pages long, Bill.
Somebody help you?
No, I've knocked them up, and then somebody looked over them, and we had a bit of a chat about it.
Interesting.
It's just best to have something, and you got to have realistic objectives. That's why really having objectives that more than 6 months out. Of course, it depends on the size of the company. You know, obviously, the bigger company, the more resources it has, the more long term it can. But even that, I'm a bit suspicious because markets are changing so quickly. Even, you know, and it's even the largest company can find itself totally irrelevant in its core market by not really responding. But it's not easy as well, because the bigger the company, the more liabilities and relationships and and it's hard to adapt. So, but for most companies, having a plan more than 6 months out is a bit of a waste of time and effort, because you'll be dealing with a very different situation, or you should be, in 6 months to a year than when you originally wrote that document.
So clarity, I like that. Looking 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, making a plan and executing it. So
especially real estate agents, folks, because they are notorious for not doing anything, and they're the people that really need that, because they can. It's very similar to being online, because you've got so many different things you're expected to do. You've got so many different hats that you're having to wear as a real estate agent. So it's really easy to be blown all over the place. There we go, folks.
You know, in any business, you got to find out what's the most important thing that needs to be done and get it done daily.
Yeah.
And in real estate, it goes back into what you said. Number one was marketing and making contact with people. And for me, it's focusing on your listings and getting those. And that's where all your energy needs to go. The servicing, providing the systems, once you get the listings, they're all in place and can be executed well. But you got to constantly be out there, you know, lead generating. And I think that's any business. So anyway, finally, and this is important. So you've got marketing, clarity, and cash flow.
Yeah. You know, I haven't got much cash flows at the present moment, but I'm lucky that
outward cash flow.
You know, but if you haven't got, you know, as a business, if you haven't got cash flow, you've got nothing, you know. And a lot of established businesses, you know, you talk around, and there's businesses that own property, asset, real tangible, but they're in cash flow problems. You know, what's going out doesn't really meet what's coming in, and they deal with it by getting, you know, various bank facilities that they're getting crucified on by interest. But they're not really dealing with the core problem, folks, which is there's something wrong with their cash flow. Either they're not managing the people that owe them money efficiently, or they've got a large client who is basically screwing them, or there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the business model somewhere, because that's why they're consistently in a cash flow problem.
You know, you hit it. Every business has to balance that. You have to have a positive cash flow, no matter what you do. Whether it's you're doing a side hustle, means you keep your job and you're starting something on the side. Your business that you're running in is providing your side hustle until it gets up to the point where it's making enough money to get out of your existing work or traditional work. Yeah. That's good, Jonathan. So marketing, clarity, and cash flow. This year, for your success principles, you looked at building relationships, keep on going, never quitting, basically, focus, and then your priorities. So if you had to tie one thing together this year, what is the absolute most important thing that you need to do?
Marketing,
okay.
Successful marketing. That's all, you know. Yeah, you know, there are a few products and services that are so individualistic that they don't need to be marketed. But the reality is, in a very competitive world, the thing that will is effective marketing.
Okay, we're going to go to one last pause and then come back with your commercial and how to contact you. Yeah. Right hand push, left hand hit jet. Jonathan, speak.
So it's my advert, is it, Bill?
Yes.
Oh, folks, WP-Tonic, we're a WordPress maintenance and service company. We do all the work that you really don't want to do. You're a busy online business owner, and your job is to get more sales and build your business up, not become an expert on WordPress. We do all the stuff that you don't want to do and you shouldn't be doing to keep your site up and running. And also we do some really nice small job work for you. Plus, we have a partnership with DigitalOcean. WP-Tonic is hosted on DigitalOcean. It offers the best value, best performance on the market if you've got a serious business and you need speed and reliability.
And netcasting101.com is also hosted at DigitalOcean. Hooah. So anyway, yes. That's it. So one last question. What can I ask him for one last question? Oh, one last question is, what are we talking this afternoon about on the Mail-Right show?
I think we look at that. We look at why Karen, we're trying to apply what we discussed with Craig about some plan of action for you and Karen in 2016. And we also look at that website that you sent me. And I think next week we'll look at a general overview of all the technology. But this week we'll finish off why you need a plan, why you and Karen need a plan of action, what it should really be. What are the 2 to 3 areas that it could be a lot longer, but we've got to be realistic here.
Well, we did get the Christmas cards out.
Yeah, we just need to choose 3 things that would get the maximum result for Karen. And then we'll look at that website that you sent me, and we'll go through what I think are some of the things that is definitely done the right way, and which things, there's some minor things on that website that aren't done so well that I would do slightly different. But we'll look at that. And I think the folks, I need to set up that episode up after this.
Yep. And Roxanne has a quick, I set all mine up at a week in advance now. Roxanne's got a question. What time today? It's 4:30 Pacific.
Yeah, it's 4:30 Pacific.
7:30 Eastern.
You can watch just me and Bill bicker a bit more. So.
Oh, no, and this is a special show. Hey, one last thing. We've got a question for everybody out there, and we're thinking about the other show is politics, meetthevoter.com. We're going to have it on Sunday morning, but do we need to move it to a different time, like in the evening on Sunday? So we'll leave you that question. Thanks, folks, for the holiday edition here. And for you listening out there, I want to use this as an example who are going to come on the show. This is not your normal timeline, so we'll be more, I guess, nicer.
Oh, we're all right. We're always like this, folks. We're like 2 old dogs in a pen.
And there it is, the famous sound. I even got the right sound going. It's not this sound. Both of them together. How's that?